Alright. This is Gen X doing Gen X stuff. Way back at it again. This is an Ibanez Acoustic Fretless AEGB24FE-MHS. And I like to play with nylon tapewound strings. And this came with just some steel joints. And I don't like them too much. I don't like the way steel feels. It doesn't give me that rich, warm, dark sound that I like. So I got some 50, 65, 85, 105s by the Addario, the ETB92M. And I've had some on here momentarily for like a week or so, and I decided that I didn't like that this didn't have notches. Now, it's debatable whether you need them. Some people will argue that kind of point. I don't argue with people. I'm going to put notches on mine, give them a little rest. There's a lot of reasons for that. Whether you care or not, you can see the pickups in there, the pickup strip. It's, to me, the nylon strings need to be able to move and flex just a little bit. Just microns, you know what I mean? You're vibrating, and I don't want them holding to it. So as they stretch, as they get pulled, things like that, I want them to be able to sit in that saddle and stay still, but still be able to retract, move back and forth that tiny bit without holding so much. We're going to do the same thing to the nut. Not notch the nut. It's already notched. But we're going to give it a little bit of lube and make sure that it's a little bit free up there. So anyway, we're going to get started. So first thing you want to do, or at least me, and don't do this to your guitar unless you know what you're doing or you don't care. Me, I'm a little bit of both. I kind of know what I'm doing, and I'm 50 years old. I don't really care. So we're going to measure it off just a little bit and hope that we're right on the money. I need to aim this light a little bit better. Here we go. We're going to give it the ever so slightest kick out. And just make a little tippy tap. This one will go pretty primarily straight. This one will go primarily straight. And this one will give it also the slightest bit of kick. You want to use a really easy graphite pencil. This is a carpenter's pencil. You'll see why in a few minutes. Other than I have a bunch of them, they come in handy. And then we'll take this and line up the marks, and that looks just about kind of how I want it. Just giving it the tiniest bit of extra space, not a whole lot, on the E and the D. G, sorry, E and the G. Overstudy. Let's shoot for good enough. We're going to go for it. I'm going to put this guitar down, and now we'll get really paranoid. There we go. Put that away for a second. Pull our handy dandy Harbor Freight, completely unstable and inaccurate vise made of the finest Chinesium, the finest you can buy. Bought it a long time ago. Didn't notice it was off a little bit. Doesn't matter because the head tilts just a little bit. Just enough to keep it going. Just enough for me not to throw an absolute fit. So I rock with it. I rocks with it. You know what I'm saying? I'll be rocking with it. I don't know if I'm loud enough. Maybe I ought to. I don't know. Too late now. Let's just go. So let's turn this thing around like normal folks. and pish de squish. I don't like the way that's lining up. Let's do this like so. Let's try that. Now you don't want to get too stupid on these. You don't want to make the ditch too deep. This is going to be the E string, so we want that one to be a little bit deeper and progressively get less aggressive. Progressively less aggressive. Write that down. At least that's how I'm going to do it. Do what you want. I have no idea what I'm doing anyway. Alright, prepared. Here we go. Give it a good twisty. And then we're going to give it a notch. I'm going to use this rectal reamer. It is not a rat tail. It is a square rat tail, so to speak. We're going to put it right on the edge. And just to give you the push. And we're going to look, and it's doing good. It's very soft, so don't get too aggressive with it. You're trying to turn it into exactly what it's called, the saddle. So a little something, and then you're good. These nylon strings are pretty big, so I'm gonna give them some space. Don't get carried away, or do. Go nuts if you want. That's carried away. Let's get a little more carried away then. These are cheap, easily replaceable, and Ibanez gives you more than one when they send you a new guitar. So if you blow it on this one, you don't want to do it again, just use the other one. Alright, that's a good start. Now let's go with the finer ones. We got some finer ones here. These are from Central Forge. I believe you can get these at Harbor Freight too. They're used for all kinds of things. I'm sure you're familiar with them if you do anything with pews. Much nicer, much nicer. I'll take that square groove out, work it a little bit. This is not science. Don't get too caught up in it. That really looks decent. That's kind of what I was going for. I'm just going to clean up the sides. We'll take a flat one and go over this. Just a hurl. Just a smidge. So it looks like somebody that wasn't completely reckless did it. I think that's going to fit just fine. That's going to do exactly what I was shooting for, or at least good enough. Now, I'm going to cover another base. We're going to go back to the discussion about graphite. So, you take your graphite pencil, it's nice and long and flattish, and you're going to color it in a little bit. Give it some. They're big black strings, so it's not like anybody's going to see it. Give it some graphite. I made it dirty. Kind of looks cool. Doesn't matter. It's just graphite. Don't worry about it. That's cool. Now you take this graphite remover, known as tongue juice. Give it a little rub. It's fine. I'm from the swamps, man. It don't matter. That's good enough. Now keep your pencil out. We're gonna need it. We'll do the same thing to the nut. And then we'll put this thing together again. Let me put this in the drawer. I use sandbags for neck support. Yes. That was wonderful. Springtime. Okay. We're going to color these a little bit. Give them some. Ooh. All right, cool. Let's turn it around. Meow. With a sandbag. It is spring. Spring is in the air, and my allergies are killing me. How about you? Seat that right in there. Look at there. Look like somebody almost knew what they were doing. Fool what? Nice. Okay, let's pop open the lace strings. All right, we're going to talk about pegs. So let's put the guitar down just for a second. Let's go over the pegs. So the pegs have these little notches in them. Let's see if I can get close enough. My camera's not an autofocus type camera, but there's a notch in here, and it's extremely flat right here. So your string goes and kind of friction fits, and the little brass bulb rides up to about right there and then stops. Well, a lot of people get stuck here and you can't see, so you end up with shout strings. So what we're going to do to try and evade that is grind it a little bit. I kind of got the wrong file here for this. I'm probably going to regret this, but let's just lay it down. Now let's grind some of this off so it's a little bit forced to go in the right way. You see, you don't have to do anything special to it. Just try to get it, primarily a little bit of an angle. That way the brass ball rides in properly. This ain't science, man. This ain't hard. So we're just gonna kind of rough them up a little bit on that side again, on all of them. Just to get that super flat spot out so the ball has no choice but to slide up where you want it and not wherever it wants to go. That's it. It's still gonna bang down into the right spot just like you need it to. So just cut some off. And then give them a little razzmatazz right here. Both sides. Get that calmed down. Because it's plastic. And it does what plastic does when you get hot and grind on it. It tries to molest itself into different shapes and crap like that. Just goose it. Give it a little goose. That'll work. Don't put too much effort into it. It ain't that important. Most people never even think about it. Oh, back to it. Okay. Let's bust these out. The Addario is my favorite ones, nylon tapewound. Make sure you get the right scale for your guitar. If you can't figure it out, then look it up. Because most of the time, especially with modern cell phones, you can just ask what scale your particular model guitar is, and it'll tell you. In this particular case, it's a medium. I knew that because I bought it, but I'm a paranoid dude, and I triple checked anyway. The Addarios, ain't they cute? Low. Let's turn this back around again. That's bright. Way too bright. Alright, that's much better. Let's open it up. Surprise! Wow, jumped right out at me. Alright. Excited. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's move the garbage. Don't need that. Put that on the floor. Nice and neat, just like that. Move these out of the way. And back to the git fiddle. Here we go. Sweet. Dropped one. Okay. Now this is what I was talking about. So your pin right here needs to ride up that little ramp. And it's only going to hang to about right hither. Right there. And if we get a good pinch, maybe you can see what I'm talking about. Get a good pinch on this thing. If you're lucky, it'll sit something like that. You don't want it to sit all the way down here. Yeah, shout strings and your tension won't be right. Okay? So you feed it into the hole, as I will show you in a moment. I forgot to show you this. This has a little pattern. So it tells you what colors is what string. So we're going to go for the yellow foist. In this case, it looks brass, so let's just call it brass. That's going to be your E. You just want to get this thing into where it kind of hooks. And you can feel it a little bit. It's very misleading. We'll take E pin. Doesn't want to hook. There we go. That's it. She's in there. Give it a little tug. It should be in. She's snug now. Snug enough. Now the next color is red. She's the red. The next color is going to be black. That'll be the D string. And these are wrapped up. Hang on. There we go. Super skinny. This has been on the carnivore diet. There. And now the last one's going to be green, the G. Very thin. Nice. Okay. Turn this guitar around so you can see the neck a little bit better. And we'll get to stringing it. Put the bag over here. Flip your guitar. Try not to wound anyone. Shabam. I don't quite have enough room, do I? I'm gonna have to move the camera back. Let's give this a scoochy poo. Okay. Looks like we need some more light. Voila. Alright, cool. Now, does it matter which one you do first? Not really. We're gonna go with somewhat of a rule of thumb. Where is me winder clippy doodad? It's in this thing somewhere. Here it is. Alright, so your general rule of thumb is going to be like, if you're stringing this one, give yourself almost to the head right there. Some people go about right here, and that's cool too. Let's split the difference. We're going to go about that finger notion between the pin and slack. Actually, I'm kind of stupid. Let's go ahead and go to the head. I'm kind of dumb. Take this and make a snippy snip. Bink. All right. Now, use the hole. Stick it in. And then you want to lay it over. It didn't like that groove I made for it on the G string. I'll have to rework that one. That's just part of it. Let's go ahead and string it. Make sure we're good on the rest of it at least. Now again, we'll just take it like something like that. To turn the guitar because I can't see. Again, on these you have to turn these to where they spool from the inside of the neck, or they're gonna touch and they're gonna be a nightmare. This is gonna be awkward. Let's see. Now, you may not always have the right distance. You can have a little bit of this blue winding that rests on the nut. That's okay as long as it's not much. But it's not ideal, but she be what she be. You know what I'm saying? Now, if this peg was taking up way too much of the cable, you'd have a real issue on your hand. We're gonna double check that real quick. I'm gonna do a stuff job out of camera and just make sure I'm getting as much of it as I can. Barely made it to the nut, so I pulled the peg, pulled the cable up a little bit higher, and I was able to reach the nut. So that's part of that lesson I was trying to explain a minute ago. We'll go to right here, give her a snip, take your inlay hole, layer down, and on with the squeaky. Isn't this fun? Make sure she is in the gap. Giggity. Give her just enough tension to keep going. Alright, cool. All the pegs are down. Strings look good. And I got this cool thing to show you. This string does not want to go in that gap. So we're going to tighten it just a hair and see if we can force it. If we can't, it's not a big deal. I'll just pull this pin and re-gouge it because it doesn't seem to want to go. And it is a little bit far, but for me, I play way up here anyways. It doesn't matter. Let me see if I can give it enough tension to make it rest in there against its will. It doesn't look like it, but yeah, it looks a little too far. I think we're gonna let it go. Let's just go ahead and tighten it down, tune it up, and see if she's got no. We're gonna re-gouge it. Let's just grab the pencil. I mean, it's right there too. Right next to where it should be. We'll just re-gouge it. So what? Pull that. We'll do it on the fly. Reckless, I tell you. Put it right on there like we don't have any brains. Voila, fool. Grab the fine tuner. Whoops. Can't see, man. That's not the round one. Let's grab the round one. Feel more confident with the round one. There we go. That's good. And color it. I'm a bass player. Nobody's ever gonna know. Nobody's ever gonna care. Nobody's gonna care. Is he drooling? No, he's fine. That's how they talk about us anyway. Look, like a glove. Like a glove. We're gonna go ahead and tighten it up and call it a day, fool. This thing's got a cool little tuner on it on the side. It's not as good as my big one, but all right. A little bit of tuning and figuring out some stuff and pushing on pegs, fighting me. And, you know, as a bassist, you string it and you're supposed to leave it alone for a while before you go back and retune it and retune it and retune it. I don't have that kind of patience, so I jacked with it for a little while. And it's not exactly where I want it to be yet, but I gotta give it some time. It sounds really good. Probably could use a little bit of oil now, but she banging. So if you care to, if you got some movement in your strings, or you don't like the way it sits, put some notches on it. Don't be scared. Don't forget the trusty Home Depot carpenter pencil for some graphite. Give it a little bit of smoothness, and she sounds pretty darn good. So that's it for this time. Holla at me when you see me on the street.